Hey everyone, CrashLove37 here. As you may know, we've been doing some podcasts recently on the channel. They've been a lot of fun, so I want to kind of adopt that format into Crash Talk. So I have a couple topics I want to talk about today, and I've got my good friend Kevin, aka ohnomyicecream, to help me, so let's get into that. Alright, so on Wednesday, Nintendo announced a brand new thing. Cardboard. Nintendo, what's it called? Labo? Nintendo Cardboard. Labo. Coming to the Nintendo Switch. It's an accessory. You plug your Joy-Cons into it somehow, you put it together with cardboard. It is $70 for the game and like a bunch of cardboards. So, Kevin, what is your take on this?
So with that thing, it made me feel like those things you used to print out on your computer and you used to build them, and they used to be like those little guys with the like square heads. Like I used to print out all the Marvel superhero ones and build those. That's what it gave me the feel like. But this is like some serious stuff. I can't like play the piano on my Marvel superheroes. So this is pretty good stuff. Like it makes me feel younger, but like it's not terrible. I don't know about spending 70, but it's definitely something to look at.
Yeah, so one of the things that I noticed was the robot game. I don't know if you saw it, but before the Wii U came out, they showed off a tech demo of using like the gamepad as something for like you're in a robot and you're going around like smashing stuff. I saw that might be in that robot game.
Yeah, I see like the picture of like the guy like punching and the big robot in front of him. I didn't see anything about that. The two things that I saw was the piano and the little thing that you plug the Joy-Cons in that the tablet like moves around or something, right? Or like it points to like I don't know. It's so strange. It's like something that no game company has really ever like touched. So it's all foreign territory. So everything's just gonna look so weird.
I mean, like if motion controls and Kinect and like Skylanders can get huge. Well, I mean not Kinect. Kinect never got huge. But you know what I mean?
Dance, man, come on.
But I mean, like, things like that and like amiibos, they barely do anything, but obviously, they sell.
If you hear unlocks something and something else, people go crazy.
Yeah.
And collectible things like.
And like I'm sure people are going to buy the cardboards for their kids. The Switch again is selling like ridiculous amounts of consoles, and a lot of them are kids and adults because it's such a good console for either age group. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of the cardboard sold. Yeah,
they got good like an expansion of ages, which they're always good at that. Mm-hmm. They used to have like Trauma Center for like the older-ish people for the Wii that I played a lot. And then they go back to the kids for like a lot of the stuff, and then they go like really really young too. They're really good at expanding the age group.
We're gonna do a hop from Nintendo to Nintendo, but in between we're gonna talk about Dragonball FighterZ. So the beta was earlier this week, I think. If you got into it, I barely got into it. Yeah, I was able to play a few games, and it's pretty ridiculous. I had a great time with it. Nappa, it's just ridiculous. But but the gameplay, it's kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom. It's made by Arc System Works that makes like Blaze Blue and all that, Guilty Gear. So it's that kind of fighter, but the mechanics are pretty tight. Like you can just like mash one button and do like a little combo, but you throw in like different things here and there, different button combinations. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff. The attacks are, they got like basic beam attacks, giant specials, and the team up attacks too. Like you push a bunch of buttons on Marvel and like all your characters come out and do like a one attack.
Yeah, it's. I liked Budokai more than Tenkaichi. So anything that could go back to more of like a 2D style as opposed to like the super 3D that Tenkaichi was, I'm all for it. Like Marvel vs. Capcom's got a pretty good grasp on fighters. I feel like they're like the golden standard for fighters now. So anything that brings it to them, you're gonna get a good fighting game from. But Nappa, I know we were talking about it earlier with the Yamcha death Easter egg where they kind of made it look he curled up in the ball. It was so funny. I was like, that's such a good, and they like removed it on YouTube. They didn't want anybody to find that.
Really?
I guess for like the time being. Yeah, they put out one video. I was reading like an IGN article, and they didn't want anyone finding that out for some reason. I guess they deleted the video.
Yeah, I know. Recently they put up a bunch of them. So like, if you beat Yamcha as Nappa, the Cyberman blows him up. If you beat Frieza as Trunks, he cuts him up and like blasts him.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, Goku doing a Spirit Bomb against Kid Buu. Goku against Frieza. I'm trying to think of who else. Teen Gohan and Cell. It's like a lot of like little like Easter eggs put into that game, and I can't wait till the full game. Like it looks amazing. Like,
yeah, I saw like the scene where he killed Krillin, where Frieza killed Krillin. You get to see Goku go Super Saiyan for the first time. They recreated that like almost perfectly.
Yeah, for like before and after the fights, like they threw in stuff like that for like scenes from the anime.
Yeah, a thing that I found weird was though, like Super Boo's just like missing as like a playable character. I thought that was really weird. They got like Innocent Boo, Kid Boo, just weird. Like no Super Boo for some reason.
It is kind of weird. You would think like, I don't know, maybe Super Boo would be in there instead of like Kid Boo. I mean, even though Kid Boo was the final villain of that arc, I feel like Super Boo did a lot more.
Oh, he was in so many more fights. You know, he fought Gohan. Like you missed that whole like Gohan getting super cocky after Mystic Gohan.
Right. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, he fought like Gotenks, Gohan, Vegito. That's about it. But
yeah, but they were like, you know how Dragon Ball is. Like 2 episodes per fight.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I thought about that too. Like I would probably take Super Boo over Kid Boo, but I guess.
Yeah, and if Kid Boo's anything like Budokai Kid Boo, that guy's game just so unfair. He was so annoying.
I know. Budokai 3 Kid Boo with the thing that like gives you like unlimited stamina.
Yeah, he's just rolling like a ball in front of you all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as like more of the characters, they have actually a lot of characters in that game. I mean, it doesn't seem like a whole lot because we're used to like Tenkaichi having like 100 and some characters.
Way too many.
Yeah. We got like 2 Gokus, 2 Vegetas. Goku Black is in it. New characters like Hit, Beerus.
Android 21 just added. Actually.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they just added what, like Majin Android 21? I don't know, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was I was like, okay, she's Majin, okay. I don't know if that's gonna be like a transformation or a different character itself, but
I mean, yeah, it'll probably be like the end boss of the story mode. Alright, and then they already announced DLC like a month or 2 ago, which I mean that's kinda shitty. Buy our game.
Yeah, it kinda just makes you feel like there's not enough regular game.
It's like buy our game in 3 months, but you know, you can also purchase these season passes where you get like new like stickers for the lobby, new costumes,
new avatars and stuff.
Yeah, which is like, I'm not paying $20 for that shit. But they didn't announce any concrete yet, but there are rumors that we might get Broly and Bardock.
I hope so. Broly's like always like that guy I want to have in the game. That like he was never really there, but like I always wanted in the games.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of a big deal when he was in Budokai 3. And
oh dude, he was a monster in Budokai 3.
And I think for bigger guys right now, we have what I mean, Nappa's kind of a big guy for you. Who else is like a big guy?
I love Teen Gohan. Anytime they make Teen Gohan playable, I am all for it. Like he's my favorite character. Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan's my favorite character. So whenever they decide to make him playable, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Teen Gohan. He's pretty good. Like he just like teleports like around the opponent, like kicking him back and forth. Like that's like that's his basic combo.
They added the basics, which are good. You know, like the storyline. It basically shows you that they're going to do the regular storyline and they're going to stick to it pretty well. They're not going to go too far off. Like, it'd be cool if in the DLC they can go to the movies, but I know they like to keep the movies separate, and that'll kind of mess with playable characters. The thing that actually caught my eye was if you pre-order, you get Blue for Goku and Vegeta. Mm-hmm. But what I'm hoping they don't do is make them one of those 8 characters that are in the DLC, because that would be so frustrating having to wait that long for them if you don't pre-order. I'm gonna pre-order, but just those people who don't. I know there's people who don't.
Mm-hmm. That's actually, I should probably pre-order before it comes out next week. But yeah, like speaking of the movies, like Broly, Bardock, maybe like Metal Cooler. Be pretty neat.
Yeah, Metal Cooler would be cool. Garlic Jr. might be just like somebody cool.
Garlic Jr.
Yeah, like I don't know, because like he wasn't really like anything special, but just like
he doesn't really
just like jump around as the little guy, like that's where Kid Buu gets his like opens from.
Yeah, we do have Kid Buu for that too, but I think like Janemba could be cool.
Yeah, I could see Janemba. That'd be a good one too.
Yeah, like I have like the dimensional punches that he does. I think that would be pretty interesting. That's like Gengar in a Pokken Tournament.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I couldn't get into Pokken Tournament because that's like, I don't know. I'm not a good fighter. I'm gonna try to be good at Dragon Ball FighterZ though. I'm gonna try my damnedest.
Next we have a little while ago an article was released that Nintendo was talking about the next Zelda game coming out. They haven't really said much about it yet, but it is in production. I mean, first thing that comes to mind is going to be another open world based on Breath of the Wild. The success that has had, Game of the Year for like every award show yet. Yeah. Do you think they would stick to open world, or would they maybe go back to more, try to bring it not full traditional Zelda, but maybe like a little bit more?
I think if they put it somewhere in between Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild, they'd find a nice pocket, because Twilight Princess was more open. See, I love Ocarina of Time. That's my favorite one. If they could just reskin Ocarina of Time, I'll be happy. But I know they got to advance, and I think somewhere in between Breath of the Wild and Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess's world was huge, but again, it wasn't open.
Right.
So if they could find, like, because I felt almost like I was playing a Skyrim reskin when I was playing Breath of the Wild, which isn't a bad thing, but it just took a little bit away from Zelda for me. But I loved it. I mean, obviously, it got Game of the Year, like you said, and everything.
Right.
But if they could just close, I know it's going to sound ridiculous, but just close the world a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, like, one of the best things about Breath of the Wild is the, like, just the movement options you have. You can do, like anything in there.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to take the good with the bad. Like, yeah, it's like a lot less Zelda-y, I guess, kind of, but like you do get to climb. Like, oh my god, finally climbing, like
right,
sprinting, like without a fucking or a big stamina. Like, oh my god, Skyrim stamina bar pissed me off. Or Skyward Sword's stamina bar was so annoying.
But I think like the main thing would be to add in some like actual dungeons. Like,
yeah, instead of like little side things, like the what the heck? Oh my gosh, it's not been so long since I played, but the trials. There we go. I couldn't think of the name of them.
Like the little temple thingies.
Yeah, because you want like that full dungeon experience that Zelda's so good for. And another thing that I like is, for me, my two favorite Zeldas were Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time, and something they were able to do is almost make it like two games. Where, like, you know, Ocarina of Time, you building up with Kid Link, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in this other half of the game with Adult Link. And same thing with Wind Waker, where you're doing this whole thing, and now you got to go find the Triforce shards. I like that, like, duo kind of part in the game, where it's like you open up a whole nother part of the game, you feel like, and you got to do all this other stuff. So if they can kind of incorporate that too, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, they could pull a Majora's Mask and take the same like assets from Breath of the Wild and make the game about what happened before Link went to sleep. Like, I think that could be really cool.
I seen a lot of articles that were saying they want it to be in the future, like right after Breath of the Wild, but not like too right after. They want it like where Hyrule got rebuilt, to where it's not like cataclysmic after Ganon, but like where like the civilization started to build itself back up, and then a new threat came in. So that wouldn't be bad. Like, kind of like a fresh look on the same world, but in the future. And another thing was, the guy, I was reading about it, his one statement about it, where he was like, yeah, it's in the works, we're working on it. He said one of his biggest motivations, I found this really weird, was that people said they wanted to pet dogs in Breath of the Wild. And he was like, yeah, I want to see that happen. So I
totally want to pet
dogs in the new game.
I mean, like, that's the first thing I tried to do when I saw a dog. I gave it some apples and I wanted to pet it, but
I had like flashbacks to Ocarina of Time, like Shell Shock, trying to find that dog in the dark, and I ruled for that lady for the heart piece.
So 2017 was a huge year for Nintendo. Release of the Switch, Zelda, Mario, just everything is going like fantastic, which is something they needed after the Wii U took a shit.
Oh god, please, yeah, that was like a dark time.
Yeah. But coming in 2018. We have the new cardboard thing. We might get Metroid Prime 4. We have Bayonetta 3 coming out. We have all kinds of ports. The first two Bayonetta games. Well,
I know they're doing Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. All Wii U ports. And then we're getting some third-party ports like Dragon Quest Builders and the sequel coming out whenever that comes out. And there's rumors that there's going to be Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption, which I could see happening, but I'm not gonna bet on it.
I don't know if Nintendo will allow Grand Theft Auto. That seems a little too much for a Nintendo system.
They got Dark Souls coming.
That's true. That's true.
And I think they're taking more of an approach that they want to have different age groups playing the Switch. Because if they focus only on kids, they're not going to sell it to the adults that they marketed the Switch to in like the very first trailer. So I think Grand Theft Auto is a possibility on their end. It's just, we'll see if like Rockstar will do it, if they can make it work on the Switch, if online will even work on the Switch. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I'm for it. I mean, anything like you said to do the ages. But see, I wish they wouldn't port older games. I wish they would like move in the future. Like, okay, any games that come out in the future, we're gonna try and get on our system instead of like backing up, because it makes you feel like the Switch is catching up, and you don't want that. I feel like that's just my personal opinion. Like the fact that they're going to Dark Souls, Skyrim, Wolfenstein, like it's like they're reaching into the past, so like current product. Where it's just like I'm all for the Wii U ports though, because all the people that didn't buy Wii U's,
most of the people,
like I got mine as a gift. If I would have never bought it if I didn't get it as a gift. So like Hyrule Warriors, Tropical Freeze, I'm all for those going to the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, Wii U ports definitely a good thing, because I mean, like, we bought the Wii U and that's about it. But again, I can see what you're saying with the older ports playing catch up and everything. But I mean, if you look at the ports that they got, like Skyrim, LA Noire, Dark Souls, those are actually remasters that came out on the PS4 and Xbox.
Okay.
Like fairly recently.
I get what you're saying. So it's kind of like they're not playing catch up on the old game; they're playing keep up with the remaster.
Pretty much, yeah. Because Dark Souls isn't even out yet. The remaster. Skyrim came out I think 2016. But I mean, obviously the Switch
the remaster. I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
And I think LA Noire, the remaster, just came out for the other systems as well.
Yeah, that came out like 2017. The remaster.
And so the only game that they're really playing catch up with is like Doom, which came out.
Yeah, that one was like the most out of place one for me out of those games.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It came out of nowhere, but I mean, definitely a good experience to have on a Switch.
Yeah, that'll be fun with the if they could do something with the screen and like moving around or something with the Joy-Cons, that'd be pretty cool.
So there was a rumor before the Direct that we're getting a firmware update, which I mean the Switch needs a firmware update. We need our online. We need our online functionality.
There you go.
More than just the basic you can get online. Because right now to play with friends, I mean, you kind of have to start a game and then have them join you in the lobby, hoping that the lobby's not full by the time they get there.
Yeah, that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, or use the phone app to talk to them instead of like Discord, which I don't know why you would use the phone app.
That seems like such a hassle.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. But what we know so far is that we are getting like monthly games, virtual console type games like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, which I mean that's good. Everyone loves older games, unless you buy
like for free. If you get them in the not for free, but like if you have access to them like that. If they could do something like what does PlayStation have?
PS Plus. PS Now.
Is it PS Plus where you get access to like older games? Like you get, or is it the View? Is it like VUE or something like that? Where you get access to streaming games or something?
I think it's PlayStation Now, where you like subscribe to it and you can play like a bunch of older games. Which
if Nintendo could do that, dude, oh my god, oh man,
that would actually be a good idea. Like, I mean, maybe not financially for them, but instead of like a traditional virtual console selling the games individually, just like sell a subscription to that. Like
absolutely,
like everybody that has a Switch would subscribe to it.
Yeah, and it would be good if they can like unlock like the harder to get titles, because like you said, there's certain games that you're gonna want to sell, but like certain games that you know aren't gonna sell, but you know people will play, and those ones would be like perfect for like a subscription service.
Yeah, like Balloon Fight. I don't want to buy Balloon Fight. I'll play it, but I want to buy it.
Harvest Moon. I want to play Harvest Moon almost every day, but I will not buy Harvest Moon.
Alright, so we talked a little bit about the newer games coming out, Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, and the Pokemon game that is coming out to the Switch.
Yes, yes, finally, yes.
So I'm not. I mean, I am excited for this because I mean, Pokemon game on a home console. It's never been done like a traditional Pokemon game. But I feel like it's not going to be that different or that great because it's going to be a transitional game. Like the transition,
Okay.
yeah, the transition from like the DS to the 3DS and Pokemon X and Y. It was kind of like lacking in a lot of ways, and it was, I don't know, it just felt really, really basic, and I felt like what was it, the Ruby and Sapphire remakes were just done a lot better because they already had experience already with X and Y. So I kind of feel like maybe the first set of games that come out on the Switch might not be, to their full potential.
Yeah, I could see that, which if that's the case, what I would have so much rather have them done is make Ultra Sun and Moon that transitional game. Because I'm not even going to lie, that's the first Pokemon game I have never bought was Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yep.
And if they could have just made that the transition title, because you're right, now that I'm thinking about it, like, it's going to definitely have some kinks the first game. And if they should have just made it the Ultra Sun and Moon, I feel like that would have been better. Especially because they have such big, like I was reading, like, especially if the leaks are right, because it's the same people who leaked like Rainbow Rocket and all of that for Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Leaked a lot of stuff. Spain and Italy, like you're talking about a whole new area. And I don't want that to be the one that's like the prototype, because X and Y were so many things could have been fixed in that game.
Yeah. Like I said, like it was like you could tell it was their first time, with 3D, new hardware, like all kinds of stuff that was kind of like holding it back a little bit. But I feel like they fixed it in the Ruby Sapphire remakes in Sun and Moon, and I wouldn't know with Ultra Sun and Moon because I didn't see a reason to buy it.
Yeah, same with me. That game is lost on me.
Yeah, but I feel like they shouldn't go Generation 8 yet. But instead, for the first game on this new hardware home console, give us all generations, all the regions in one game.
The mega game that we've been wishing for since like 2004.
Yeah, I mean, like what is stopping them from doing this? Just give us all the regions, all like 9,000 Pokemon. Make it like, give it online functionality outside of just like trading and battling. Just do something. Be able to like interact in different ways with people. They have the technology. Like they have the technology. Just do it. There's no reason not to.
And all they have to do, and it stinks because the level 100 cap dampers it so much because there's only so much you can progress with your guys.
Right.
But if they could somehow unlock that, everybody's obviously had their own ideas, but what you could do is you could actually start in any region you want. Go to the next region and just have like progressive leveling. Like the next, no matter what region you go to, that region will have the same leveling. But then the next you can go like, so you can technically start in Ruby and Sapphire, and then you go to Kanto after that, and all of their Pokemon start at what 60 or whatever it would be, and then you can go to Johto after that, and then their guys are going to be at 100. And then, it's just nice you can progress through each region and start wherever you want.
Yeah, like I thought about that too. Like the leveling would be kind of wonky, but one idea that I could go back and forth like talking about like Pokemon ideas all day, but
please.
Like one idea that I thought of would be like, once you finish a region, your Pokemon are locked to that PC in that region until you complete another region. Then you can use all Pokemon that you have.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
Because like in the anime, like Ash pretty much starts over every region anyway, except Pikachu, which like goes back to level 0 somehow.
Oh yeah, you could even adopt that. You get to keep one Pokemon and they get level reset.
Yeah, you could do that too. But that would give you like more opportunities to use different Pokemon in every region if it's locked by that. And then like once you do beat the Elite Four, become the champion of that region, then you can bring your Pokemon over and do like post-game stuff for just that region, and then just move on to the next one.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I like that. And like you could really make the Pokemon region exclusive. Like you won't have like to feel forced to drag somebody from the Alola region into Kanto because we want the Alola Pokemon in this game. Like,
right.
I really like that idea, actually. You get stuck with all those Pokemon in the PC. I like that actually a lot.
See, Nintendo, hire me. I got ideas.
We're out here. Come on, man.
And speaking of Pokemon on the Switch, and not the 3DS anymore, that is a big seller for the 3DS. How long do you think the 3DS is going to last now that the Switch is out?
Well, if you're asking Nintendo, they just said it still has a long life ahead of it. So, and they think that it could just coexist. I don't see it as, because the Switch is portable. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to sell me on a 3DS game when I can just play it on the Switch with better graphics?
Right. Mm-hmm. That's like a lot of the games coming out for 3DS. People are just like, why is it on the Switch? Which, I mean,
yeah, exactly. You feel
it
shorted for having it on the 3DS and not the Switch.
Yeah, like as much as I really enjoyed playing Fire Emblem Echoes and Metroid Samus Returns, I would much rather have played them on my TV instead of on my 3DS.
And just had it in front of you, because there's no way that you can expect me to believe that I'd rather play it on a handheld instead of a handheld and possibly my TV with better graphics.
Right. I mean, like, of course, Nintendo's not going to be like, oh, don't buy the 3DS anymore. We're not going to afford it, just buy a Switch instead. Because there is a new Shin Megami Tensei coming out for both the Switch and the 3DS. 3DS one's a remake, but, I mean, it's still coming out. They are still bringing out games for the 3DS, but Nintendo said the same thing about the Game Boy Advance when the DS was coming out. They're like, oh, it's different. They're going to coexist, you have them both or whatever, but then it's like people are buying the DS, let's burn the GBA.
Yeah, they kind of were like, yeah, it's got a long life cycle. 3 months later, yeah, it's what's the GBA? I don't know what that is.
Exactly. The only thing is, like, the Switch doesn't have backwards compatibility with the 3DS. That's the only thing I could see holding it up. But I mean, like, you still have your 3DS to play your 3DS games. Like, no one's forcing you to get rid of it for a Switch.
I feel like the 3DS is good for certain things. Like, it did certain things very well, and like, I think if they could keep the titles there that held. I mean, obviously they're getting rid of Pokemon, but there are certain like JRPGs do really well on there for some reason. Like certain JRPGs that they can adapt to the GBA or the 3DS, they do really well on there, so they can kind of keep those, because PlayStation does so many JRPGs on platforms anyway, so they don't feel like they have to compete on a console level with PlayStation. They can just keep releasing them on the 3DS.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, like, wouldn't you rather play it on your Switch?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the thing to it. Like, I don't get, like, the JRPGs, like, they're usually like hella long. I don't want to be on my 3DS for that long. Like, I just beat Xenoblade 2 on the Switch, and it took me like 180 hours. Like, I would have not beaten that on a 3DS.
No, and you wouldn't probably. I mean, 180 hours on a console, you'd probably beat too. But just the fact that you can be on the handheld or the console, like, oh, I really want to play Xenoblade today, but I'm not in front of my TV. Oh, well, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, just take it with you.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'll never sell me on buying a 3DS game over a Switch game if it's the same exact game. But I mean, if they lower the price of the 3DS, if they make it like bottom barrel affordable. Like, buy this game on here so you don't have to buy it on our $300 Switch. I guess you could, but at that point you're just releasing the same game twice. So I can't see too many 3DS exclusives. I can't. That'd be crazy.
Right. So I think that's all we have for today. So thank you to Kevin, aka ohnomyicecream.
Hey, bye. Actually.
Thanks for joining me. I hope you have you again on here sometime soon in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here.
And thanks everyone for watching. Like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook.
All of them. Everything.
Everything.
Social media you could ever think of.
And we will see you next time.